Everyone, welcome to Tuesday, and like we do every Tuesday, we take a look at the performance of the NZX 50, being the main board for the New Zealand Stock Exchange. Now, just before we go through the housekeeping as well, just letting you know that I have got a date for the Introduction to Investing webinar. It is on the 6th of November. It's at 7:30, and that's a Thursday night, so I really hope you can make it. Invite a friend as well. Spaces are limited. You do need to register, and I will make sure that there is a link in the description after this video has been uploaded. Now, before we go and have a look at the NZX 50, just remember this is for educational purposes only, definitely not intended to be personalised financial advice. For that, you do need to go and chat to your own financial advisor. But the methodology I'm using here is exactly what I use when I analyse any shares on any market. And I like to share it with you to hopefully empower you to learn a bit more about the share market as well. Just remember too, if you've got any questions or comments or any shares you would like me to review, just pop them in the messages and I will address them. I usually get back to everyone, not necessarily on the same day, but I certainly do my best to reply to everyone. Right, let's take a look. Right, here's the main board for the New Zealand Stock Exchange up on the screen. Now, I am recording this Tuesday morning. The market has been open for about 15 minutes, so not much yet. Although it does say up here that the market's not open, but obviously there is a little bit more happening after hours, which is great. It's saying that the market's up about 0.42% after hours, or pre-opening, which is a good sign. So last week, you can see here by that red candle, the market was down. The thing about that candle, though, that is quite interesting, and I have spoken of this more recently. So you can see the main body of the candle, obviously solid line at the top, that's where the market opened for the week. Solid line at the bottom, that's naturally where it closed. But you can see there's this little tail down the bottom. Now that indicates buying pressure. So the buyers did end up taking a bit more control, if you like, than the sellers. And that's why you get that little tail forming on the candles. That can be a positive indicator, because remember, just 3 weeks ago we did hit that all-time high, so it is natural that you will sort of see a little bit of sell-off. But what we want to watch, is this going to be something a little bit more sinister? Is there something else going on that we are unaware of, or is it just simply the market taking a pause, taking a breath before it potentially rallies again? That's what we just need to keep in mind. And so far it is looking a little bit positive, which is great. It's exactly what we want to see. Right, let's go and put our moving averages on. So we will pop on our 30 exponential. And you can see there the market's trading above that. That is a very good sign. Now let's also pop on our 15-week moving average. And again, the market's trading above both of those. That is exactly what we want to see. So it's a good positive indicator that we're looking at. Also, I've just scrolled in. If we look down the bottom here, I've got my volume chart up. And yes, we have obviously had those 2 weeks in a row with those two red bars. The thing that is positive for this, even though the market has sold off, they have been down a little bit compared to the green ones. So that can indicate potentially that the market is just taking a pause before it resets and goes on again. But like I say, we actually want the overall charts to be telling us exactly what it is. Let's go and have a look at the 1 year chart, and it brings up the daily candles. Now, this is where the market gets a little bit noisy, if you like, on the daily. And that is because you can see here that blue line being our 15-day moving average, the NZX 50 is actually trading below it. Now, it hasn't crossed through the 30-day moving average yet. Whether it's going to, I don't know. We need to wait and see for the rest of this week and see what happens. But for me, this is why I've had a pause on the New Zealand market for actually looking at any further potential opportunities that might be there, is simply because the market is trading below that 15-day moving average. I definitely want to see confirmation that the market is in an uptrend on both the daily and the weekly. Even though I only do my entries based on the weeklies, I like to see the dailies just to confirm exactly what is happening on the market. So this is why I've hit pause. From Monday, it is looking a little bit more positive, which is great, but we definitely want to see that close above that 15 and 30-day moving average. So that's sort of the overview for the market this week that I'm seeing. Monday was a positive day, so it is certainly setting up to potentially be a positive week, but who knows? We've only had one day of trading so far, so we'll just wait and see what happens. Now, I'll stop sharing. If you come back on Thursday, I have done feature building for our share and review. Love you to take a look at that. It certainly was a dream child back in its day. It's certainly not at those levels now. But also just remember, jump on and register for the webinar that I'm creating on Learn How to Invest. Love to see you there. So until Thursday, take care.